Nqobile Madlala is in Virginia in the Free State. And Nqobile, we heard a little bit earlier on from the Minister of Mineral Resources, Gwede Mantashe, saying they fear that there may be more bodies trapped underground, and that's because of the movement of methane.
Well, yes, that's what he did in fact say, and he says at this point the access to the shaft is quite difficult because this is from a mine that's already been filled, and that becomes a major problem. But of course they are still looking into how they are going to get in. He even emphasizes that they did decide as a government that they are not going to leave those bodies inside. It is now going to take some time for them to be able to retrieve them, but they do fear that more numbers could be inside. And I mean, you could remember that when we spoke to some of the community members here, they did say that this is something that they see often. They say that quite a lot of people in the community do take this illegal mining as a way of creating a bit of income, and so as a result more and more people take the risk of going to these mine shafts. And of course the answer to that is for the minister to work with the people. But of course the department's just saying that they feel at this point that Harmony has done quite a lot to ensure that that area is closed. They're even talking about the fact that it was sealed and that it was then blown open, and this is how the miners got underneath. But there are fears, of course, that more people are still inside the shaft.
The minister said criminals are developing confidence in this particular criminal activity, and you put a question to him about a task force being established to stave this off. What did he tell you?
At this point, he says if it were for him, he would say round everybody up and arrest them. And he's even talking about those that went and spoke to, of course, the government in Lesotho as well as the people on the ground to say that there were people that were stuck or rather trapped in the shaft, that those people themselves who were part of that illegal activity, which he has called it, saying that it's not mining, it's illegal activity, they should, of course, been arrested. He says that he's not the Minister of Police, and of course this lies with Nqobile, but he does say that it's very important to ensure that there's more arrests that are done because of this illegal mining. He even calls them soldiers. He says it's soldiers that are attacking the economy, and this is becoming a problem. And so he says more and more people should of course be arrested, but this of course sits with Nqobile, and he says it's the honors on SAPS that should decide whether there needs to be a unit now that will go on the ground and look into this illegal activity. I mean, he says there's more and more numbers that we are seeing. I mean, we've seen even what Linda was, of course, covering in Germiston, saying that there are more and more numbers that we're seeing of people that are part of this illegal activity, and they need to be arrested. But he says that as governments, they're not going to allow that. They leave those bodies inside, and of course, they are going to retrieve them, but he still feels that the law needs to take its course.
Gwede Mantashe says illegal miners are soldiers who attack our economy, dying in combat. He says it's an attack on the economy, reiterating what he told Newzroom Afrika last week. And so did he give an update in terms of engagements with the government of Lesotho?
Well, at this point, he says that there have been conversations, but if you hear what he's speaking about, you can feel already that there is a sense of feeling that the Lesotho government is not really assisting them in what they need to happen, because he says that they're allowing these people to tell them what happened on the ground, and this is an illegal activity. So why are they allowing that communication to even take place? And of course, this is a problem. But there was also a question that was put to him that there's some members that have said that their families have disappeared. So there could be South African people that could potentially be in that shaft, and that it could be not only Lesotho nationals that were inside there, but he did say that there has been no report of any South African that has been inside there, and so far they've only heard that these are Lesotho nationals that of course are stuck there, but they will know in time, I suppose, as they pull people out, when they are able to go inside. And that place, of course, when we were there, we were told that not to come close, that the area is not really in a good condition. There's a lot of methane there. They don't know what potentially could happen or what could spark off fire, and so they're worried that anything can happen, and that area is still very much volatile. But they do say that they are working on it. They just need to find ways to go inside.
Madlala, thank you very much for that update.